So, we're here today. We're going to show you how to matricular or matriculate your vehicle. We're here with the powerful Dawn shader. And over there, as you can see in the background, is Portovial. And that's the place where we're gonna go to matricular. We're gonna show you the whole process. So, check it out. Now, before you begin the matriculation process, there are two vital things that you need to bring with you. One is your matricula, which is basically a vehicle registration ID. This document has information about your vehicle, and you should always carry it with you when driving your vehicle to guarantee ownership of that vehicle. The other thing you need is a black and white copy of your matricula. Both of these will be necessary in different parts of the procedure. There are also 5 recommendations I have in relation to this matriculation process, but more on that later on. When you enter the premises of the agency, the first thing you do is park your car, of course, but be sure to park in reverse since there are signs that specify to do so. Once parked, enter the transit agency building, and the first thing to do in the matriculation process is to go to the information desk or wait your turn to be attended. Once you're at the information desk, you will be asked for the original matricula of the vehicle you're matriculating. After processing your information in the system, you will be given a solicitud de pago or payment request, which is a sheet that has some values that need to be paid in order for this process to be completed. The values that need to be paid are as follows. The first value is the amount you have to pay for the procedure. The second value you'll likely see is a value for fines, which you'll see as multas. If you have no fines, then this value will always be 0. The third value you'll see is the matricula SRI value. And then the fourth value is what is called rodaje provincial, which is an annual permit that everyone who owns a vehicle needs to pay. If you'd like to have a general idea of how much you have to pay for the matricula before you're at the transit agency, this is where I want to give you my first recommendation, which is to use the National Transit Agency or ANT website to check how much the matricula SRI is going to cost and check to see if you have any fines. This will give you a heads up and a general idea of how much you will have to pay for this process. I will leave a link to the page to check those values in the description below. Great weather we're having out here. Once you've obtained the solicitud de pago from the information desk, you must take it to a Banco de Pacifico to pay the values that are on the payment order. At the transit agency that we're at, which is Portovial, there's a Banco de Pacifico right next to it, so you can pay your values there. Once you're at the bank, this is where you're going to need your copy of the matricula. And if at this point you don't have your copy, then something to note is that a lot of places that require official documentation tend to have a copy placed close by. And getting a copy of this document will generally cost you about 20 cents. After you've paid the values, you will be given some slips that confirm your payment, and you take those back to the information desk so that they can give you a turn for the next step in the process. When it's your turn, you go to the documents reception desk where they check everything you have thus far and tell you to go get your vehicle checked. In line number 2, yeah. When it comes to the revision of your vehicle, there are quite a few things that they check and a few instructions that they give in the process as well. More so if you have a car. But before we look at any of those, Dawn has a few words for everyone.
I'd like to say that if you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. If you don't like the video, bite me, okay? And I say that with you.
Now, as for the things they check, there are 3 stations where different tests or checks are done to determine the conditions of the vehicle. In the first station, the things that are done are as follows: a gas emissions and sound test. Don, it's time to come clean. Are you polluting the environment?
Absolutely not. Nothing to ever think of.
An inspection of the lights. And a revision of the interior and exterior of the vehicle, including having a first aid kit and checking if you have a fire extinguisher, both of which must still be valid. The things that are done in the second station are a suspension check, a brakes test, and a revision of the direction and alignment of the wheels. And the things done in the final station are... I'm going down. Oh my God, I've never been here. A test to detect the looseness of components, and an inspection of the underside and components on the bottom of the vehicle, including the steering box and steering systems, cooling systems, electrical systems, the chassis, and a tire check. We'd like to remind everyone of how important this process is, not only to complete the matriculation process, but also for your safety and the safety of others on the roads of Ecuador. That's why my second recommendation is that you should have some maintenance done on your vehicle on a regular basis. This will not only help for the matriculation process, but it'll also help you avoid any issues while you're out on the road. After you finish the revision, you park your vehicle in the designated area and then go back to the documents reception desk. Here, they'll give you some papers to sign. After signing these papers, you'll be given the following: a sticker you'll need to stick on your vehicle later that confirms that it was matriculated, an evaluation document that shows the results of the revision, and a turn for the next step in the process.
18?
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
Not knowing what to expect is the scary part. So we had to detail this out, for the viewers so they know this whole inspection process is a lot more than what we go through in the States. In the States, you pull into a garage like this and they stick a rod into the exhaust pipe and they tell you to leave it running for a few minutes and then they pull it out and that's it. Your test is complete. So this is much more thorough.
Once it's your turn, you go to the designated reception desk where you sign another sheet. If you don't need a new matricula because the current one you have is still valid, then you're done. But if you need a new one, then that will also be given to you at the reception desk and you need to get it signed by the boss in that agency. Once you have the new matricula signed, then congratulations, you have completed the whole matriculation process. But wait, now that you've finished the process, I'd like to give you my final 3 recommendations. The first recommendation is to avoid doing the matriculation process during the last week of the month. During that time, it tends to be the busiest, so your best bet is to try going somewhere around the middle of the month. The second recommendation is to have your matricula plasticized. In other words, to coat it with plastic. You can do this at most places that make copies of documents, and it's useful to do so since you have to carry your matricula everywhere, and the last thing you want is for it to get damaged. And my final recommendation is to follow the social media pages of the National Transit Agency in order to keep up to date with any updates to the procedure or anything related. If you can find a transit agency page for the city you're in, then consider checking that out as well. We truly hope this has been informative, and if there's any other information you need, leave us your questions in the comments section below, and make sure to check out the rest of the videos on this channel and on Don Shader's YouTube channel. The information we have is sure to be able to simplify or overall help with what you're looking for. Good luck matriculating your vehicle in Ecuador, and remember,
If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. If you don't like the video, bite me, okay? And I say that with peace and love.